I ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. In today's first reading from Ezekiel, we get a great image, and one that we might find strange at first. But once we think about it for a moment, it's quite powerful. In his vision, the prophet Ezekiel is asked to eat a scroll given to him from God. This is basically how he's commissioned for his prophetic ministry. Now, the image is one of consuming God's word, God's message. In eating, generally, one draws nourishment, sustenance. So Ezekiel here is being nourished, sustained by God's word, God's message. Ezekiel also here remarks that it is as sweet as honey. So not only is the word nourishing, but it's pleasant as well. And this is actually perhaps unexpected, because the message he consumes is not an easy one. The scroll says, lamentation, wailing, woe. But what is pleasing is that it's the truth. It is God's word. And God's communication, even when harsh, is always delivered out of love. Furthermore, only by digesting, quite literally here, God's message himself, is Ezekiel able to proclaim it to others. You know, it's the same with us. We must consume the word and then share the word. We don't just stop at taking it in. It has to be shared. Sometimes the message may be difficult to hear, which is actually why we need to be nourished ourselves in order to garner the strength and wisdom to share it. So our question to ourselves today has to be about our spiritual diet. What do we consume in order to give us sustenance to carry out the mission God has given us, to share his gospel? Am I filling myself with sketchy entertainment, marketing ploys, and or propaganda, and not allowing much room for anything else? Or am I allowing myself to actually be nourished by God's word? And that word comes to us chiefly in both its written form and in its sacramental form. The word made flesh and made present to us in the Eucharist. And God's communication also comes to us in other ways as well. But let us ask this: do I not only hear God's word, do I consume it?